What right then do you have to seek to generate chaotic behavior? What right do you have? We are busy producing wealth. You are getting cheap food. Other people in the other parts of the world are starving. They are crying for hunger. And you here, you want to disturb us. You are playing with fire.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome as well to those that are joining us for the first time. Please consider subscribing to this channel for more content like this. So, as you might have already heard from the man that wields the most power in Uganda, on that rhetoric of he's telling the people of Uganda, the young people of Uganda, or those Ugandans that are hungry for change, that they are doing nothing but playing with fire, because he is fire. I believe he thinks of himself as fire. From the lens of Pan-Africanism, I love Museveni. But when it comes to, in terms of his, the leadership, the way he does his leadership, the way he conducts his business as at the helm of Ugandan politics is quite questionable there. And so in the video we did earlier today, we were talking about matters politics in Kenya. So it seems that you can check out the video, and it seems that Kenya sneezed and the neighbors across the border in Uganda caught the flu, because Uganda have been recently have also gone to social media to mobilize for an anti-government, anti-corruption revolution. I would love to call it a revolution, actually, protest. So today, a number of Ugandan young people, the Gen Zs, I can call them, as we are now terming the protesters in Kenya, were arrested, and because they came out to bash on corruption. And this has been in doing rounds on social media, on X in Uganda for some time now, just like the Kenyan has been. And I believe it's obviously very, very inspired by the Kenyan moves. And something to note is the countries that actually have there's something about countries that always really try to merge politics and security matters. Check out on all regimes around the world that especially got their regimes that got their power through some military form. They always are trying to really, they do not draw a good line in between, just random politics and security. And I'll say one thing I personally believe in. Once you see heads of states, a head of states, starts to deploy the army, the military, in the city, in the streets of the city, instead of, along the borders of the country. I mean, the military are majorly supposed to be there to protect the country, from, not to protect the regimes, the corrupt regimes, from being held accountable, from being told that they're being corrupt, from being asked to be responsible, to govern responsibly.
Well, in Uganda, the military has been deployed on the streets of the capital, Kampala, to deter planned anti-corruption protests there. Soldiers and police are reported to have blocked all the roads leading to Parliament. Young Ugandans accuse the government of rampant corruption and human rights abuses. Police have banned all protests in the capital. Well, on the eve of these planned anti-government protests, Ugandan opposition leader Bobi Wine posted online, saying that police had surrounded the headquarters of the National Unity Platform Party in Kampala, the opposition, blocking off roads and arresting its party members. He says the government fears the will of the people, and once their fear of the government fades, quote, they will lose their power over us.
Once you see governments, regimes start to summon their military into the streets, Kenya did. The president did that in Kenya a few days ago. Museveni did it, of course, because he saw the situation of things, what transpired in Kenya, and I believe he has been learning from the failures, the political failures of the government of Kenya, and he's been preparing because he has seen what social media can do in terms of mobilization of people to come out on the streets, because it has been so effective in Kenya. It's been historical. And of course, the protesters in Uganda must have learned something from those in Kenya, and so as the government of Uganda, it must have learned from, because in Kenya, what happened is the government didn't take the matter so serious because it was on social media, and most of our parents and our grandparents, those that are in power today, think of social media and the digital space as just a not a very serious thing or a very serious place. But now, to rather to their shock, they're not understanding what is really happening. So the people of Uganda are decrying rampant corruption, and they get arrested, they get bundled into police vehicles, and apparently they even the opposition's leaders the opposition also came under fire. It's downright dictatorship, huh? Because for example, if we take the context of Kenya, the protesters in Kenya have loved to be identified as partyless. That is, they are not partisan to any political factions in a country. They are citizens against politicians, and they are tribeless as well. So, and I believe that is exactly the problem, because across the border in Uganda as well, because corruption doesn't really just really affect, negatively affect those people that are in the oppositions that support the opposition. It does really just affect about anyone in that country. So when people come out to decry corruption, then I believe it is everyone in Uganda that is not comfortable with corruption, because the people of Uganda, I believe that my brothers and sisters, people of Uganda, deserve better. I personally have been to Kampala, and I can say Kampala is and Uganda generally, and the people of Uganda are good people, and Kampala is a good place. But I insist and I believe that they deserve better. They deserve better roads. They deserve better services. So, looking at the protest in Kampala today, you could tell that one of the of the persons that was of interest to the protesters was the speaker. And then when I went to check out, and I think I had seen this before, is that the speaker has been under fire for corruption cases, and is facing, I think, sanctions from the UK, sanctions from the US, and he has a corruption case, corruption scandal of, I think, just slightly shy of 3 billion US dollars. Those are the money is of the people of Uganda, and that money is supposed to be helping the poor people of Uganda. They should be building the roads, the schools, the healthcare system, the infrastructure in Uganda, instead of applying, using all that money to deploy police and the military to quell people that are asking for their right. I mean, they should use that money and those proceeds of corruption to give the people good governance. And nobody is going to come out of the streets. If people are busy, if young people are busy doing, in their jobs, in their businesses, building the nation, building themselves, building, their dreams, they won't have time to come out to the streets. But when they become hopeless, disillusioned, and have so much time and so much skill with them, then they become dangerous. Let's listen into this short clip, and then we can give our verdict, or our analysis of this situation.
Protesting. Today, Right Honourable Speaker, there are some young people who, as we have been witnessing, have been coming to Parliament in similar fashion with placards, marching, saying they have concerns about corruption in Parliament and elsewhere, and they were coming in similar fashion, like those ones, to come and raise their concerns here in Parliament before us and before you, Right Honourable Speaker. Many of them have been bundled up, they have been beaten up, many are in jail. And so I thought, the same way, Right Honourable Speaker, you received those who were protesting, apparently, against one of our honourable colleagues, you would receive them in similar manner, because they're saying they have concerns as citizens of this country, concerns about Parliament of Uganda, concerns about many government entities, concerns about corruption, Right Honourable Speaker. I don't know why they were not accorded the same kind of treatment, the same kind of respect, because they were not coming to fight. They did not have daggers, knives, or whatever the case might be. They had placards similar to the other one. So I thought, Right Honourable Speaker, you would help us understand. I don't know whether it was an order from your office, maybe not, but at least I saw the other ones, you received them. For these ones, it has not happened. Why, Right Honourable Speaker? Thank you, sir.
So what is the problem with the people holding their leaders accountable? What is wrong with the people of Uganda? The young people of Uganda asking hard but necessary questions to their leaders, coming to present their petitions over, graft allegations and corruption, to their leaders, to ask them to check on this, to correct them, just to basically ask for their right. Good governance is a right of people of Uganda, people of Kenya, and people in Africa and everywhere else. So this is just, deploying contingents of policemen and summoning a military to the states instead of along the borders to prevent external attacks are dictatorial moves, are panic moves by leaders, all the generations that want to forcefully continue to cling to power through corrupt means that are protecting their corrupt regimes that do not want to be held accountable. But I know one thing for sure, and I believe in one thing for sure. Kenya and Uganda might have started this sort of young virtual revolution. This is not going to stop any soon. The young people are going to fight to their last breath. And not actually to their last breath, but fight until they get their rights, until they get their voices heard, because they deserve. Old people must stop thinking that just because they say we fought for this nation, we built this nation while you were young, before you were born, it does not entitle them to now cling to power, uh, um, embezzle of funds and left, right, and center, and feel like their ages, because they are of older age, that becomes an excuse for them not to be asked to be accountable, not to be held accountable. Just simply, if you are not willing to be asked questions, don't come looking for a political seat. Don't ask for power. Don't come into leadership. But as long as you're there, we need to know what you're doing, why you're doing this, why you're not doing this, that, and the other. I don't feel there's anything wrong. I just feel that the young people must now continue, must stand their ground. The people of Uganda must not back down. And because this is a revolution, this is, grabbing power from power hungry, a power hungry older generation. And I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be through a fight, sweat and tears and blood. A price has to be paid. But if the people of Uganda and young people of Kenya and young people of any other African state demand the change that they deserve, then they must be ready to stand in the line, put themselves on the line of fire, and fight and call out and use social media and use any other available means, to confront these corrupt individuals. I don't know if people coming to parliament to present their petitions does warrant people to be arrested, bundled into police cars, and detained. That has been happening in Kenya. That has been now today happened in Kenya. It has also happened in Uganda. It's happening across it happens across Africa. And it is those that are in power that get us as the young people to that. Because if good governance had been there, then we would not have any questions to ask. It's as simple as that. So that is my personal verdict on this. We would love to hear, get your reaction, get your opinion and your ideas on this. Please share them in the comment section below. Please like this video and share this video as well. And if you have not, you might want to subscribe to this channel to support us and for more interesting content in the future. So until the next video, see you then.